Alrighty. Hi, folks. Welcome back. Welcome back to week 4 of how to CAD almost anything in Fusion. As you can see, I guess this week's video is going to be fully virtual because, as I said, I'm not going to be physically present on class. But at least I wanted to get you a video so that you could watch a little bit ahead in advance what we'll be working on. And I think this week we have some pretty fun stuff going on, which, as you can see already from our cover slide, it has to do with the banana. We finally reached that point, so that's going to be pretty exciting. Just a couple of formalities as usual. Today's session will focus purely on learning three very important things, which are loft, sweep, and planes. And the examples that we'll work on are the banana and Frosty the Snowman. I think Frosty is the slightly easier example as opposed to the banana. Banana is a little bit I don't think it's that challenging, but it will be fun. And you can always pause this video and do those two projects at your own pace. But I would say that with loft and sweep, you would be learning two of the most important tools that you could use in Fusion, and that would allow you to make a lot of pretty good stuff. Today's examples are rather simple, just to keep it relatively short, but you can do all sorts of complicated things with them. As usual, well, I'm not there with you guys right now, but if you have any questions, you can always let us know, and I'd be more than happy to help you out with anything. And well, in our Dragon Ball adventures, right? What have we accomplished so far? We've collected the first 3 Dragon Balls. Session 1, which went into learning the fundamentals of Fusion 360 sketches features. Session 2, which started complicating things a little bit more. We're using sketch pictures, splines. Session 3, where we started looking, that was just recently, with patterns, planes, revolve, and mirroring. And now session 4 is kind of a review of all of these things, but we'll be on top of doing loft and sweep and just a lot more planes, right? We are going to be using splines, we're going to be using sketch pictures, we're going to be using a lot of revolve and patterns. So I think that's going to be interesting as a good review of all of the things that we've been doing. And stay tuned for, I guess, the 5th Dragon Ball, which is going to be coming up soon as well. So these are today's session, the banana and Frosty the Snowman. So to start with, this is my attempt at the banana, and we'll take a look at that in just a second. And then this is my attempt at Frosty. So let's go ahead right now to Fusion, and let's start cutting these two. Let's start cutting a banana. Now, I believe this is gonna be quite experimental because this is as far as we can probably push Fusion 360's capabilities. So we'll give it a shot. I think it's gonna be fun. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm gonna go here to Canvas, and I will insert a picture of a banana that I just downloaded a moment ago, which is this one. So I'll bring it there. I'm not too worried about the scale of the banana. We can always scale the thing up. This is more modeling purposes, right? Oh, I will give it a shot. There we go. So now I'm gonna start doing a sketch right there. So the first thing I want to do is just start tracing an outline of this bad boy. And I'll probably use mostly construction lines for that. I'll probably do a quick line like that that will mark, this main area. The same thing right over here, just like that. And I'm gonna do a spline, the construction spline that goes more or less like this. Boom, like that. And then I'm gonna do a couple more that mark this area. Just like that. One, and another one. So these two that I'm doing right now, I do not, if I'm gonna use the technique that I've been using for bananas, right? Because I've carried many bananas in the past. It's not a trivial thing, but it starts to get, this is more like advanced modeling stuff, which in SolidWorks is actually not very difficult to do. In Fusion, it's a little bit more challenging. But generally, these two lines we're not going to use. We're going to use that one in there. So Once that we've done that, I'm gonna start creating the following things. So I'm gonna go here to construct, and I'm gonna, well, actually, there's a type of plane. We're gonna create 5 planes. So, well, yes, I think we're gonna 6 planes in total. We're gonna make them along a path, and you'll see what all of these guys will mean in a second. So the path that I want is that one, and I will say that I want first a plane that is at distance 0, which corresponds to that line in there. So maybe let's see if I can. Well, I'll figure out that one in a moment. I'm not too concerned. So maybe I'll say that I want one at 2.25, actually a point 2. So that's where I want my first plane cut. Then I'm going to create another one. Let's go here to plane along path. 25. No, actually, right now I would need at point 4. Oh, very good. I need to create a couple more. Plane along path. This I'm going to say 0.6. And one more at 0.8. Along path. 0.8. Now I'm going to try and figure out how I can potentially make a plane that is, the thing is, I want a plane that is perpendicular to the line. So I think I know exactly how I'm going to do that. I'm going to edit this sketch. There we go. And I'm going to do a straight line, construction line. That goes just like that. Very good. I'm going to make these two guys perpendicular. I believe that's the case. And I'll do the same thing right here. I don't care about dimensions. This is all very illustrative. But the reason why that is important, because now I'm going to do again the plane along path command. I'm going to choose that one. But instead, let's see what happens if I put 0. It will create a plane right there. And that is exactly what we want. And I'm going to do the exact same thing right over here. I'm going to go here to construct plane along path. Let's choose 0 as well. Good. So now we're gonna start doing some fun stuff. In each one of these planes, I'm gonna draw a hexagon. Not a hexagon, a pentagon, because it turns out that bananas, as you probably may or may not know, this one, it's actually a fact that I recently learned. They only have 5 sides. So we're gonna go here to create, we'll go here to polygon, and we'll call it, yeah, circumscribed polygon, I don't care. How many sides? I want 5. Very good, and I'm gonna make, we go like this. So probably make, let's see, this point there, control that one. I want to make those two be coincident. There we go. All right, so that is going to be our first, I guess, banana polygon. Now, I will convert all of these lines. So let me just see if I can select them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't see that one. There we go. Into construction lines, because I'm gonna create with all of those some free point arches. Because I want to make the shape of the banana be a little bit more. Oh, well, that one didn't go as I wanted to. Let me try again. There we go. So look what I said. I want to give it this some irregularity. Make it look fun. Very good. Okay. So I'm happy with that. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is, now I'm going to go to it says construction, and I believe that was plane 5, right? So it already hit itself. Good. Now I'm going to go ahead and go into this plane. So the challenge in here is that now I'm gonna draw another hexagon, right? That starts from there. Might be a bigger hexagon. So let's see. But pentagon. I do not know why I keep on calling them hexagons. Which one? Maybe circumscribe. Good. Next. Oh my goodness, I should have changed. Well, maybe the first thing I might do is a straight line that goes just line that goes just upwards like that. And then polygon circumscribed. Arrow sides 5. Yes, indeed. Well, I'm just gonna make like that. I'm gonna choose that point and that point. We'll make them coincident. Excellent. And now we'll create these 3-point arches that we did before. So we're gonna repeat this same process that I'm doing with the next, as you call, a couple more times. So you'll see I'm gonna now finish this little pentagon in here. Doesn't need to be perfect, and I'll probably end up modifying some of these dimensions afterwards, right? Very good, excellent. It might or might not work out. I'm actually not sure, right? Like that. That's what will make it fun. But I'll change it. It's gonna be customizable enough. Now let's do yet another pentagon. So I'm gonna go over to that plane. Good. That is better. So just like before, I'm gonna create a straight line that goes just upward. Maybe a bigger banana, a chubby banana, but that is okay. Polygon. Let's see. As usual. Oh my goodness, man. I'm just making them six-sided. Subscribe. Let me just change the number now. It's a little bit of a tedious process, but I think, making it properly the way like we are doing it will pan out in the end. One just has to be diligent, right, with the approach overall. So I'm just gonna go like this. The problem is that SolidWorks, well, not Fusion, and so is SolidWorks to a large extent, are not the most suited softwares to do modeling of this type. And this is very, very much known to be organic modeling. And here I'm just being very irregular, right? Like nothing, like there's no particular guideline that I'm following while I'm doing all of this. This is all fun stuff. But in it, as you can probably start guessing, I'm just building what you would call like a wireframe for this structure. And I think it's gonna look very pretty. Just a moment. So just bury me a little bit longer. Like you can hear some facts about bananas while I'm doing all of this stuff. Well, that looks good. It turns out that when I was teaching this very same version of the class, but for SolidWorks, I came to realize investigate, I investigated a bunch about bananas, right? I don't normally eat bananas. I just, I'm more of an apple kind of person, but I came to realize how many sides do bananas have, right? Because that is an important number to know when one is designing such an object, right? Apparently, on average, statistically speaking, if you find the random banana, right? It seems that the expectancy, right, is that it's going to have about 4.75 sides, which is quite incredible. So there's a chance you might find a four-sided banana. There's a chance you might find a six-sided banana. You never know. But in most of the cases, you're going to find a five-sided banana, which is what we're doing right now. All right, so we're moving ahead at a good pace so far. Polygon. Circumscribe, very good. Like it doesn't matter anymore whether circumscribe or not, like because well I once I put it in here, right? I'm just clicking on that point. There we go. Well, I mean it doesn't matter. Like say like this one right there, and then that one, and then I just constrain them to be like coincident. So that's great. So now I can go back to Arch. We're close to being done, at least this stage. Then there's gonna be a slightly difficult yet not so complicated stage. It's something that I just recently discovered about Fusion, and I'll tell you about it in a second. But this is looking fine, so far. Good. See, slowly our planes are disappearing, but that's completely fine. I like it how I have like the picture of the banana, right? That we are just tracing all around while we're doing all of these little things. So now let's do one final sketch right there. Very good. Maybe one thing I could tell you guys about is the fact that at MIT, bananas are like a pretty big thing. Like it's one of the it's one of the main fruits that all undergrads and some grad students eat. As you can see, not all of us eat bananas. So that's why I decided to cut one of them, right? Because it's very representative of MIT culture. I'm gonna choose this point. I'm gonna choose that point. I'm gonna constrain them. Now let's do a bunch of arches. Let's see how those look like. Arch, arch, 3-point arch. Like this. Boom. Excellent. Just like that. Very nice. Good shit. Okay. Now we got all of our planes done, which is good. I'm gonna take care of that one later. It's not a problem right now. So now we're gonna have fun doing the following thing. First things first, I'm gonna start a new. Let's see how this is gonna be. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna start a new sketch that's gonna be on that plane. And the first thing I want to do is a spline. I'm gonna click spline. It's gonna go from. Spline from. Is this point. Well, I can just do a spline that goes say like this, like that, like that, like that, like that. It doesn't matter. Oh, freaks. I should probably be more careful. But I click escape before I click on the save button. There we go, just like that. And I'll say good. So what am I gonna do? Very simple. With this spline, I'm gonna here where it says modify, and then I'll go to move, and then there's a move type that is point to point. So I'm gonna select that point, origin point that one, target point that one. Good. Now I'm gonna replicate the same thing here. Modify, move. I'm gonna start at that point as my target. There we go, like that. So now I have a spline, a 3D. This is gonna be a 3D spline, right? That is connecting all of those points. So I say, okay, now let's do it again. And we're gonna do this a bunch of times. So maybe this is the moment where I'll probably speed up the video. Well, so what I've done here is I just try to fit a spline along all of these points, and I think it looks decently fine. Actually, I think I messed up one of them. Let me just go here and edit something. But that is supposed to go somewhere else. That's why it was definitely not working. Let me see if I can constrain them like that. Very good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what? I'm going to use a tool that's called loft. What loft does is that, let me show you exactly what loft does. Essentially, we're going to connect all of these frames in the following way. We can do loft, and I can choose, say, this profile, that profile, oh, like this, then like that. So you see, we're creating the banana slowly. Boom, just like that. But I can tell you right, actually, for rails, I want you to follow that line in there. And you see, it created a pretty decent looking banana. It's not too terrible. You see, like, we could have done a spline tool that would go all the way through the sides as well. I do not quite want to try that because I don't think the approach that I was just trying a moment ago would be effective for that. That being said, I guess, satisfied with how this is looking right now. So now what I'm gonna try and do, what I will definitely do, is that approach here on the top side. So let's do this top stem piece right now. So I got that little piece in there. Maybe what I want to do is extend that, but maybe I'm just gonna go back in time to this point, just like that. Then, oh, there's a problem with it. Let's see. Edit feature. What are you complaining about now? I'll just do it again. Not a problem. See all of the sketches that appeared. I can just show them again by going like this. Boom. So let's recreate the loft. Let's go 1, 2, 3. It's following pretty well. Like I think there's some even better ways. I was just doing this rail curve is it's really experimental. I don't think Fusion is the best for these lines because the move command that I was just using before doesn't quite constrain the curve in the way that I want to constrain it. Um, so there's no concept of a 3D sketch, in other words, in Fusion. But that's okay. I think this is gonna look decent enough, and I'm happy with the results of that. Yes, for instance, maybe the hexagon. Maybe I'm gonna edit this sketch. Yes, exactly this one, such that when I do it, I think I can do it. I can just say that I want those 2 points to be coincident. Yeah, that's gonna be important afterwards. Because now, let's do a new sketch. So it's a pretty non-symmetrical banana, theoretically, because of me doing all of the pentagons in different ways. So now what I want to do is, let's do a couple of new splines that are gonna go in the following way. First, I'm gonna create, there we go. So these splines that I'm drawing are really guiding splines. So I'll probably do I think I'll do them in different sketches. So I'll save that like that. Okay. Actually, maybe what I'm gonna leave that like that. I'm gonna do another plane. Let's gonna go. Let's see where's our friend plane along path. I'm gonna choose this one. In this case, I'm gonna choose one. That way it's right up there. Good. It's gonna be parallel, but that is actually, if I wanted to be, look, I can be even more precise, and I can say actually, no, let's get rid of that plane, and let me go up to this sketch again, edit sketch, and if I wanted, I can already have an idea of how big this is gonna be, but let me see. I want one line that goes like that. Good. And then I want another line that goes like this. Good. And then I'll do another one that will be perpendicular to those ones. Excellent. The reason why I'm doing all of this stuff, and see the banana is there, is because now I can go again to our friend playing a long path. And I'll say that I want it on 0 down there. Very good. And that is the plane where we're gonna draw yet. Well, first things first, I'm gonna see. Let me just edit sketch. I want these 2 points to be coincident. Excellent. I start yet one more sketch. It's gonna be right here. This sketch is gonna start from what I believe from that point. Yes. Um, just into there we go. I skip a couple of commands. Very nice. You just say okay. So now what I'll do is I'll click on that point, I click on that point, and I make them coincident. Great. And I can do the same thing here. Click on this point, click on that point, make them coincident. Good. So now that we've sorted that one out, then I can do one last sketch in here. And that's gonna be easy. Just choose that. Like this. And we're gonna make one last pentagon. So polygon circumscribed. I should put 5. And I'm gonna do the user strategy. I click on that point, control this point, coincident, excellent. And now we'll do a bunch of arches, of ribbon arches that are not constructed, just regular arches. Boom. I'm not sure. I think this should work. And now, moment of truth, one more loft. So we'll go here to loft. Click on that profile. We'll click on this profile. So you see, normally it would do something like that, and obviously that doesn't look nice. So, but if you choose rails, you'll see how now it's gonna create something that looks a lot nicer. Rail number 2, down. Oh, so it does not touch all of the profiles. What are you saying? I think it should touch all of the profiles. Oh, you're right. It doesn't touch all of the profiles. That is extremely unfortunate. Um, I have an idea. I just need to just edit this sketch. Let's see. I think it's doo-doo. Oh, there we go. What I think I might end up doing is just getting rid of just this plan altogether. It's not the end of the world since, yes, we're here in time. That's good. I'm gonna create one more sketch. And now I get it. It is a smart software for sure. So this point and this line coincident. Oh, actually, I don't know. One, this is again. Okay. Let's see. All right. This point and this line. Let's see. Can you make these coincident? Geometry over constraint. What are you talking about? There we go. I think I have an idea. Let me just edit this sketch. I do need a line that goes, yeah, say from here to there. Good. Now I'm gonna edit this guy. And now I do have a point. Let's see. Good. Okay. So now let's try again. Here we go ahead. We can go over to loft. Click in here. Click in there. Good. Rail number one. That one. Rail number two. That one. Excellent. That looks fine. Then, we could add a couple more details by, say, extruding like that face. Just, say, by 0.01. How about that? I think what we could certainly do is I'm just gonna hide every single sketch. I'm gonna go to canvas. I'm gonna hide the picture as well. We could just go over to that face. And go here to our frame project. And I'm just gonna click on the entire face. Then I'm gonna bring that up by, edges are nearly coincident. That's interesting. Well, I suppose. Uh, Let's see if I can do this same thing in here. Well, here it does allow us at least. That's fine. I just wanted to give it like a little touch in there. So yeah, so you got in here a nice. Let me just. I'm gonna just color all of this stuff. Let's see if I can make it yellow. But I like the metal color to it. Yellow metallic. I need to down. Oh, actually, it did work. Yeah. And for steel, I do like the color. It's like a funky looking banana. There we go. That's why I don't like coloring stuff in Fusion because it's a tedious process. But well, this is an attempt at a very simple banana in Fusion. I think hopefully it's not too difficult for you guys to try. Decent tutorial. I didn't spend like a lot of time doing it, but I think you folks can definitely give it a shot, make it nicer. Perhaps try use this technique of the using a wireframe to try different fruits. I think it's a lot easier in SolidWorks, though, so definitely check those videos out. But this, I guess, how I would give it a shot in Fusion. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. Alrighty, hey folks, welcome back again. On today's, I guess, little video, what we're gonna do is try to make a snowman. So this is a very interesting example, and nothing too fancy really, but it's gonna be used to illustrate a couple of interesting commands. In particular, we'll be revising how to use revolve, how to use loft, and more importantly, a new one that's called emboss, otherwise known in SolidWorks as wrap. So let's get ourselves started with this design. So I'm gonna go here to create a sketch. I'll choose just one of these planes, it doesn't matter. Um, and I think one of the things that I wanna do right now is I'm gonna draw a bunch of circles and I'll make all of these construction circles. In the sense that I just wanna do a rough sketch of how I'd like my snowman to look like. You see that already doesn't look very nice. So maybe I can always move up and I move this circle a little bit higher, just like that. And then I'll make the head somewhere around here. You see, that's a little bit too big. I'll leave it right there. Yeah, so the sizes seem approximately right. Maybe one thing I'll do is I'm gonna join all of these using construction lines. Yeah, so these are all construction circles. These are all gonna be used for our references, really. We're not gonna do anything with them yet. Just to give some general dimensions. Yeah, 1.6. See how everything is turning black the minute that I start providing some dimensions here. All right, so this is gonna be our, I guess, our general body. And then one thing that I'm thinking is that I would like the arms of my snowman. I'm gonna make one arm come off from that point. Just that way it looks a little bit more irregular, right? All of these will make sense in just a second. And again, to fully define all of these things, what we could do is just say, all right, 6.2, let's say 62 degrees. Let's say I want that one to be 54. And then I'm gonna define just two more lines. These will be all for plane creation purposes, these lines that I'm drawing right now. But I'm gonna create a plane that's gonna be perpendicular to that one, and then a plane that's gonna be perpendicular to that one in a similar way that we'll do with the banana. And so let's give some dimensions to that. Let me just make sure that is. I think that was fine in the first place. It doesn't matter what those are. So I'll say, okay. So we'll be using a lot of these dimensions in just a second. All right, so with our main, I guess, Snowman design in here, we can start drawing a couple of things. So the first thing I want to do is the following thing. So I'm going to do yet one more sketch here in the top. And what we can do is a, okay, to create, then project. I'm gonna maybe, actually what I can do is just draw a line that goes all the way from, oh, let me try again. Going from here to there. And see, it's fully dark because the circle was already fully dark in the first place. There we go. Just like that. And then I can do a 3-point arch. Goes all the way like that. Excellent. And I can say that this and that, I'd like them to be, I think concentric would be, there we go. Excellent. So now I got a half circle, which means I can go here to solid, go to where it says revolve, and I can revolve this wedge around which axis? It's gonna be that axis. So now we got ourselves a little sphere. I'm gonna repeat the same procedure again. Go here to sketch, all the way to that plane. And I'm gonna draw a line that goes all the way from this point all the way to that one. Very good. I'll do the same thing again up there. Excellent. Now let's do a 3-point arch. That goes all the way from here to there. Let's see, concentric, very good. Oh, actually, not very good. I think this line and that line should be, let's see. There we go. I believe that now we should be fine. Yes, just establishing a couple of constraints in there. So again, we can go to revolve. I'm going to choose that wedge axis here. And I don't want to do a cut, I want to do a join. So now we got our next ball. Now let's do the following one. And again, I'm not, this sketch, which is our main sketch, that one I'm just using it as a reference, as you can see. So yeah, one more sketch in that plane as usual. Let's zoom. And then we're gonna give this a face, we're gonna make it nice, we're gonna give it a body. It's gonna be beautiful. Make that go there. And then I'm gonna add another point that goes all the way like that. Boom. And our 3-point arch. It goes all the way from here to here. Right, so let's click on these two, make it concentric. Then this point and this point, we do coincident, and the same thing in here. Coincident, excellent. Right, solid, revolve, axis, this one, and I'm gonna make a join. Okay. Yeah, that looks quite all right. I think I'm happy with the original design. Maybe I would bring the head a little bit downward. So it's actually not too difficult to modify because I can do edit sketch and I can just click in there and make that 1.4, for instance. So now if I go back here, you see it just happened automatically. Yeah, so I'm happy with that. Now, let's start creating some of these arms. So the first thing that I want to do is go here to my friend construct planes, and I'm going to use my new favorite command, which is plane along path. So the path is going to be this one, and I want the plane to be at 1, which means it's going to be right there. There we go. So I got one plane, and the reason why I created that one is because I can create, well, actually, I might do, I'm gonna edit that for a second. No, I think that might be fine. Um, yeah, then I'll figure out like some other aspects of this. And then I'm gonna do another plane. What actually, plane long path. It's gonna be along that line, but I want it to be at zero. So it's gonna, right, so it's gonna intersect right there. So we got two planes. I think I'm happy with that, and you'll see why these will make sense in a moment. So the first plane I'm gonna draw, it's this one right there. And I'm just gonna make a big circle. That's gonna be the size of our original arm. And I'll say that's fine. Now the next thing I'm gonna do on this plane is I'm gonna actually draw a profile of our arm. So what I'm thinking is something that goes, yeah, maybe outwards like that. We'll figure out exactly by how much. And maybe 1.2. Excellent. And then I'm gonna do, I want to define this length in here to be 135. I'll define, oh, well, I'll make one arm and then the other one will be a lot easier to do, in my opinion. So these are long arms. And I think it's gonna look nice. Good. Yeah, I like the dimensions overall. And then one thing I might do is I'll just fillet this point there by how much? Maybe 0.5. Excellent. Okay. I'm not sure what that constraint was, but that doesn't matter. And then I'm gonna do yet one more plane long path. I'm gonna choose that line, and I want it at the very end, which is right there. Good. And the reason why I'm doing that is we got, well, now we got that very nice plane out there. Can do a sketch in that plane, and that's gonna be just a smaller circle. So we did the original one. I believe that was 0.4. Maybe this one could be 0.15. Good. Okie dokie. So I think now what we could do is go here to create. We're gonna do a loft. So this type of loft, there's multiple ways. We could also do a sweep, for instance. But I want to do a loft in the sense that I'm gonna choose this path. I'm gonna choose that profile. So a conventional loft would just go like that. I could also give this a rail and which is this command and say, all right, I want it to go along that path. And you see how it will modify itself, right? And just go like that. I think that looks a lot better. I'll say, actually, I don't want that to be a new body, to be a join. The problem is, I'm not sure whether, all right, it actually did work. The problem is that it's kind of floating a little bit there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna extrude a little bit this inwards. I want to join. Let's see, would that do the trick? Yes. Okie dokie. I can still go back to our original sketch here. Maybe I'll edit that to be 0.3. It was a little bit too big. So we got one of our arms, but I want this to be like a big circle. So what I want to do now is get one face, one sketch right there. It's gonna be, I'm not sure how big it's gonna be. We'll see. By clicking this line, control line. We'll make them equal. And that will make that 0.2. Go to arch, 3-point arch. When I click in this point, control that point. Let's make that coincident. And boom, let's revolve around this axis. I want to join. A little bit of a big snowman, big arms, but I like that. So we're gonna do the exact same thing in there. There's another command, if you look in here, that's called sweep. What sweep that is also something similar. That is, you can do like a single path. It's very similar to loft. The difference is I cannot give it this taperness that I have in there. I was wondering whether there was a command in SolidWorks where you could potentially do it, but I'm not going to use that now. So for the purposes of today, I'm not going to show you how to do sweep, but the reality is that for sweep, it would be a lot easier. I wouldn't even need to do that little circle. I could just make it go all the way straight. I think this is, and for now, yes, you can see that it generates that line in there. That's okay. So let's do the other arm. Maybe to make this more noticeable, I may bring that angle down a little bit farther. So we go back to our original sketch. What we can do is, I'm gonna make that go maybe to 70. Right, there we go. That way it's like fully customizable. So let's go ahead and let's create our planes. So plane along path, I'm gonna go back to that one and say 1. Very good. And then again, plane along path. I'm gonna choose that one. I'm a fan of, I like this command a lot, honestly. I've learned of a similar way of creating planes in SolidWorks that is fine too, but I think this one is pretty creative in the way it's done. It gives you a little bit more control. So you see, I may jump. The good thing about learning how to use different softwares is that you know when to use each one of them in different times, depending on what your application may be. I'm going to do a sketch right there. I will make the arms just the same way we did our other arm. I could make it a little bit, I can change the angle, for instance. I know that one was 1.2, and I think we made this one 1.6. I'll make that angle be, say, 1.5. Maybe that one. Okay, that's good. Then let's fill this in there. I believe it was 0.5, what we had said. Yeah, I know that we removed, that's true. All right, let's do one more plane along here at 1. Excellently sketch in that plane. And the good old circle in here, that's gonna be size 0.15. Great. So let's do the magic. So let's go down to loft. Let's choose that profile. Oh, probably here. Profile there. Rail is gonna be this boy right there. Terrifically. Join. And now, just as usual, we just need to bring that inwards by 0.05. Excellent. That way it has more of an irregular shape, right? It looks a little bit more organic. It's a nice character, I would say. We're gonna add a couple more things though, but so let's finish making this hand wanna be Right, so this in there, that in there. Let me click here, control there, make it equal, and let's make that 0.15. Go down to create arch, 3-point arch, action. Now point, control point, coincident, boom, revolve around here. Okay. All right, so I think now we are in a pretty good shape, I would say. I like this. So now we're gonna start adding, say, some buttons in here, some smile, maybe the nose as well. So you might be wondering, how do you do all of that? Well, it's not difficult at all. I'm gonna start first with the buttons, right? And the way to do that is in the following way. So I'm gonna create a plane. And if we go down here, it's gonna be parallel to that one. Yes. So let's see. I wanna bring it to the front, maybe by 6. That might be a little bit too much. Maybe by that amount. It's fine. So I created just a new plane. And now I'm gonna start working on this plane. So I'll do a sketch in here. And the first thing that I wanna do is I'll go down to I don't know whether oh, where did I go? Back to sketch. There we go. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to do a project. I want to project this guy. Great. I'm going to project this line as well. So let's see if I can do that. Project. Where are you here? Here we go. Right. So why am I doing this? I'm not going to use none of this. In fact, I'm going to convert it straight to construction lines right away. It's because I want to know how big this area is. And that's going to be convenient because now what I'll start doing is bunch of lines. So how many buttons do we want? I'll probably do, say, this is the fourth video. So let's do 4 buttons. Why not? So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll select all of these lines. There we go. Make them equal terrifically. And now, actually, I didn't want to make them construction. There we go. I'll make these circles. Very good. And I select 1, 2, 3, 4. Make them equal. And I want their size to be maybe 0.22. Good. All right. So now here's where the magic happens. If you go down here to create, and there's a grid tool that's called emboss, I can select, say, like all of these sketch profiles, right, as we're doing right now. And then faces, I'll say like that one, and you can see exactly what's happening. So maybe I might give it a depth of like 0.01. So it's gonna do like a cut inwards. And there we go. We got a little frosty with 4 buttons in there. In fact, you could like say draw some stuff. You can be extremely creative with how you're doing this. But it's like pretty cool because it follows exactly the curvature. So let's do the same exercise for Frosty's face. Right? Let's draw something. All right, so let's go down to the same sketch. Well, the same plane as we were before. Let's do a sketch there. Very good. So I'm gonna go up here to create, then all the way to project, project. I'm gonna project the exact same things. There we go. Actually, I didn't want to project this line, so I just deleted it. But let's go here to project. There, action, the neck. And now, yes, I make a construction geometry, very good. So, this is the area where we are working on right now. So let's draw something. Let's draw maybe like a couple of eyes. Maybe to make it even easier, right? What I'll do is a line, it goes all the way like that, that we're gonna use for symmetry purposes. That's what it make. It's gonna be a little bit bigger. This is the sort of stuff that maybe I might not define entirely, let's say. Um, I'm thinking, do, I have an idea. I'm just gonna draw a random line like this. I'll make that be 0.45, whichever dimension, doesn't matter. Maybe I'll make that angle be, say, 50 degrees. And I want to draw this circle actually won't be construction, it's going to be just very tiny circle, but that's fine. Say 0.6, good. So I'm going to go here to create, and I'll do a circular pattern. And yeah, so let's say I want to do a circular pattern of these two objects, center point that. So now I don't want to do full, I'm going to do partial. And I'm gonna do 100 degrees because I said, there we go. And I wanna do, so let's do an odd number. Let's say 11, maybe 9. This is interesting. I like it. Make that into construction. This is the smile of our guy, right? Let's give that a line a length 142. Let's give that an angle as well. You want it. Excellent. So now we're gonna do a quick mirror. This guy, that line along this mirror line. Okie dokie. So we got something that hopefully is not as creepy as it looks from that sketch, but we'll give it a shot. I just should have defined those circles, but that's fine. So now we'll go here again to emboss. So I'll do one at a time, right? So one of those sketch, the first sketch profile, let's say I want to do the smile first. I can always edit the smile afterwards if I want to. Then for faces, I'll do here. But I will do the opposite. I want that to go outwards. And so let's say, okay, good. Okay, that looks interesting. And now I go back to sketches again, still show this one, right? And now we'll go here to create, then emboss again. And I'm gonna select this time the two eyes. Look here. And yes, I leave it. Not too bad. I like this. So now we are faced with one more challenge, which is making the nose. And I think the nose will be one of the trickier aspects of this. And for that, one idea that comes to mind is making something like maybe I want to reference that point over there. So what would be the best way of doing that? I'm thinking maybe of making a plane at that point. So what we can do is go here to plane along path, select this one. I guess I can pretty much just make a sketch, go all the way like that, and just say, all right, make it so you can always go here to create project, and I can project whatever circle this corresponds to in that plane. Let's see, what did you do? Actually, no, Control Z. And let's try again. Do the project. I said I want you, but it doesn't matter too much because say that I'm gonna give this 0.6, maybe a little bit less, 0.58. Yes, that is exactly the point that I want right now. And I'm gonna create yet one more line. This line will be perpendicular here. Yeah, that's fine. So then let's give this some dimension. So why are you orange? Hmm. I'm not sure what that line corresponds to. Let me delete that for a second. There we go. Okay. There we go. Excellent. Now, yes. Now I think we should be fine because all I want to do is create one plane that goes all the way here on that line, and I want that to be at 0. Good. The reason why I'm doing that is because I want my nose to be pointy upwards. Um, so that's exactly what we'll do right now. So let's go ahead and do that. I love this. Very nice. Just want to draw 2 lines. I'll dimension both of them. Ooh, excellent. There's this one that goes like that. Very good. Let's dimension that. 35. 155. 17.5. It's very surgical, this procedure, as you can see. But I think this is gonna be worth it. So I'm gonna create yet 2 more planes. You see a lot of planes today. That is the way. So one plane here at the very beginning and another plane there. Add one. Oh, you know why I'm doing that is because now I click in here, I can say, all right, I want the stem of the nose, right, to be a circle of dimension maybe say 0.12. Like a relatively, yeah, a little bit more. I can be generous, 0.15. However, I want the nose in here. And you could have done, we could have done any profile that we wanted in there. I want that nose to be dimension, maybe 0.04, 0.05, yes, good. And now what we can do is go here to loft. And then all the way here. And I don't want to cut, I want to join. And then what we can do is just um, let's see, do object, and I can just say up to here. Now I can just hide. Yes, one approach is to do it like that. Otherwise, I can just dig the nose inwards. In fact, that is what I'll end up doing. I don't like too much how that looks like. So to do that, I just need to go back to, I believe it's this sketch. This sketch. Instead of 0.58, I'm just gonna say 0.5. Let's see. Is that a little bit better? Yes. Okay, so we got most of our frosty done. I want to do the hat. Like the hat is the most important aspect of our design. It's not frosty without I guess without a good old hat in here. And I want the hat to be facing in that direction. So the way to do that would be in the following way. So I'm gonna do I mean I can go back to our original sketch. And I can say that I would want the hat to be say like at that angle in there. And we will define all of these things momentarily. And maybe that you'd want the hat to be something big like this. Doo-doo-doo. We'll do a construction spline. I'm really not sure what I'm designing there. Maybe the best approach that I could do is just draw this, maybe this. Sorry. Okay, so let's start providing some dimensions to this stuff. Yeah, 140 sounds about right. Wait. Yeah, 5. There we go. Excellent. Wonderful. It's just some stylistic stuff, like nothing too fancy. There we go. I like this. I'm just gonna hold that point there. A little bit. Looks like a bit of a Mad Hatter. I want to have a perfect thing that I'm gonna do with this thing. Let's say exit sketch. Okay, so now I think we're ready for like the the very last aspect of this, which is the one more sketch. It's gonna be yes, and there, and I'm gonna go here to yes, actually do sketch. I'm gonna start projecting all of this stuff. I'll do project, select all of these lines because I'll be using them right now. Well, maybe up to there. Go just like that. And I go to solid revolve. Yeah. Oh, well, I think I can modify a couple of things about this hat. This is, let's call it trial one. Maybe at one, this to be a little higher. Yeah, it looks more like it has like a like some form of pawn. You see, hat design is not my specialty, but one cool thing to illustrate the power of the wrap command is that I can potentially go to like the upmost point in that hat, right? So if we go up here, let me just go, maybe let me show you, having all the exception of a couple of sketches, right? Let me show you that sketch for a second. And I'm gonna create one plane run path along there, yes. That's fine. I'll keep that plane and I'm gonna construct another one that's gonna be just parallel to that. There we go, just like that, boom. See, that is a surf, so this plane, so, well, first thing first, on sketches, I'm gonna hide this one because I don't need it. Now, for construction planes, that one I also don't need. I just need this one. Um, and all I wanna do is, and now I'm gonna do a sketch on the top side, right here. Now, I can go here to canvas, and I'm gonna bring one of my favorite pictures, which is the MIT logo. And it's gonna be, we go to construction, it's gonna be plane 13 where I'm bringing this. Yeah, so that's where it is. Yeah, I actually like that size. I'm not gonna modify anything because look at the power of the command that we're gonna start using right now. Yeah, so that's maybe this sketch. I should never used it. But now yes, I'm gonna do one sketch in plane there. No, it's not in that plane. Where did our plane go, actually? Canvases. There, I was getting worried for a second. Plane 13, excellent. Well, let's give this some magic. This is what I call the MIT hat. Let's start drawing just tracing very quickly the MIT logo. And you can do this with a lot more complicated designs. For instance, like I've done in my SolidWorks series with a can of Diet Coke. You can just bring all of these pictures and trace them exactly and then, project them into this curved surface and they're gonna look very pretty. But this is an MIT class and as such, we need to at least include this logo in some of the projects just for fun. So I'm gonna bring this here. We're somewhere like around there. Let's wrap this up in just a second. Boom, that point. It's not it's not very precise, but I don't know, the grand scheme of things, it looks decent. Then I'm gonna drop that line in there. Alright, I'm gonna leave this right there. I finished sketch. In fact, I go to canvases and I don't need that logo anymore because I already traced what I wanted to. So now, moment of truth. Let's do something fun. Let's go here to create. Let's go to emboss. And I want to emboss all of these guys. Where? In this face. And let's see, actually negative. How would that look like? And maybe so a little bit less. I wish a little bit subtle. Then it has the MIT imprint right on the top. Just to give you an idea of the fun stuff that one can do. So actually this time, first, let me save this for a second. I wanna call this snowman. And now let's actually give this some color. So I'm gonna go here to appearance and I'm gonna make all of this white. Let's see. Uh, see acetal resin, how that. Oh, okay. Now maybe for these buttons, right? Those faces, let's make them red. Actually, I'm gonna go here to brass. I'm gonna go here to faces. This guy is gonna look actually very fancy. For the smile, I'm gonna go for, let's see, titanium. Satin. Let's see. Very good. Oh, yeah, let's try to color these sides as well. That's real quick. And then we'll probably make the nose out of, I'm thinking, copper. Since that looks a little bit orangey. Let's go here to copper. I used raw, let's see. And I'll make a little fillet. Maybe for the eyes, let's see. What do we have available to us? Maybe some aluminum. Ooh, this guy is wearing some glasses. He's handling some serious style. Very nice. And the hat has to, of course, be green because every hat is green. I like the Mad Hatter's hat. All right, green. Let's see what do we have. Green powder coat. Oh, I want to do faces. See this one. Yes, I like that. The color, everything. It's red and gray. All right. Okay, the red. And this should be gray. Let's see. Oh, I see. Um, mm, mm, mm. Maybe this powder coat. All right, close. All right. I think this is it. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. As usual, hopefully you learned a couple of interesting techniques using the snowman as an example. And well, I hope to see you next time. Bye bye. All right. Now that we've seen how to cut the banana and Frosty, just a couple of formalities. As usual, I'm not there with you uh, just physically right now, but if you have any other questions, you can always let us know. More than happy to help you with that. And just a preview into what's happening next, which is going to be our last session, which is related to Lego. And this one is going to be very packed. In fact, the video that will come up for that session is going to be super long because we'll be doing a lot of things, including not just a simple Lego brick, but and the plate, but also an engineering drawing, which is what you can see there on the top right, and also an assembly of a little house. So we'll start playing around, making some fun things. So as usual, thank you very much for tuning in, and well, I'll see you next week. Bye bye.